up, everyone? Thank you for clicking on the video. I was called out yet again by my buddy Tim the Babadoo for another food challenge. Now, this one is much more enticing than the raw broccoli he tried to get me to eat a few weeks ago. That wasn't happening. But this is much more appealing. So essentially, all you have to do is hit all of your macros in one meal. Now, I don't know if he's seen this video. Or this one. Or this one. Maybe even this one. So I'm convinced that Tim does not watch this channel. I was a little bit offended at first, but you know, you can't really blame him. So the only difference between this and all those other videos I've done is I'm actually gonna have to track this in MyFitnessPal, which is gonna be kind of a burden, but that's okay. So I don't anticipate this being much of a challenge, but you never know. The one rule he said is you have to do higher volume foods. You can't just go eat, a dozen donuts, even though if a dozen donuts fit your macros, you are a god. So for the main course, I think I'm gonna do like a little bit of a casserole. And you guys know I get really sophisticated when I make casseroles. So for the base, we're gonna have some mac and cheese. Now this stuff is actually fairly macro friendly if you make it right. So instead of like the full fat milk and the full fat butter, what I'm gonna do, these guys right here. Now I'm looking at the food I'm gonna have to eat tonight. And I guess the only question that I have is, am I even gonna be able to get full off of this? Watch me fail this after talking such a big game. But I am cutting now, so the macros aren't that high, at least relative to what I've typically done. So I'm gonna be aiming for around 400 carbs, 70 fat, and 200 protein. I just don't foresee this being an issue. I know you guys have seen me eat some pretty off the wall stuff, but without a doubt, this is the most artificial thing that I've ever put in my body. So finally, it is time to eat, and I don't know if you guys are gonna let me get away with calling this thing a casserole. Essentially, I just threw everything in the pan and threw some bacon on top. It actually looks fairly decent. And then we have one of these Kodiak pancakes, as well as some Reese Puffs. I do have some more food, but it would melt if I had it out here. I'm sure you guys have no idea what that could be. And I don't know if this is supposed to be timed, but this is my one meal for the day. I kinda wanna enjoy it, but I'm a fast eater as is. So it is currently about 7:30, and I'm gonna load up some videos and get to it.
They said don't get on this ride, cause you can't handle it. The praying I abandon this. I'm taking out you bandits, a bazooka and a cannon. I'm in a fist while everyone around me smoking cannabis. Simple-minded and lazy, will never become a fan of his. Follow trends, I will never, don't need it this. I'm just better, I never settle for good, because great is oh so much better.
So it is now 7:39. I'm surprised how long this is taking me to get through. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. It's because I'm on the cut. My stomach is shrinking. Is that how it works? All right, so I'm just gonna finish this real quick.
Remember, they call me stupid, said I'll never sell an album. I told them I spill my soul and let the world decide the outcome. So how come I thought the college route was making difference? 30,000 every year, and that was only just beginning. I see my friends sit at a desk and think they're winning. Back when I was selling burgers from a stand for a living, was barely living, feeling bad for whoever can tell.
7:45. That took me 20 minutes to get through. What a rookie, man. I'm disappointed. And honestly, I could go to bed and be perfectly content just after eating that. That's one of the things I love about intermittent fasting. You feel full. So it sucks a little bit in the beginning of the day, but towards the end, it really is worth it, in my opinion. Now, unfortunately for me, I gotta complete this challenge, so I'm gonna warm this up real quick. I'm just waiting for that to warm up. And have you ever noticed how good Reese Puffs smell? It's unbelievable.
Another innocent victim of a suicidal maniac.
was much easier to get down. It is now 7:52. I'll go on to the cereal now. Usually I can eat cereal by the box, so I don't think 3 little servings is gonna be any issue, but I am gonna switch locations. So we got my favorite spot in the house, my favorite current TV show, which is Parenthood, if anyone actually cares, and one of my favorite cereals of all time. Life is just way too good to me. So how about this? I'll make you guys a bet. If I can eat this in under 2 minutes, you gotta like the video. If I can eat it in under 1 minute, you have to share this video with one of your friends and tell them to subscribe to Rich Homie Trav. All right, we're gonna get this guy going. 1 second. Is it going? I can't see. Oh, I'm 5 seconds behind. All right. Guys, what is happening to me? So I got to the 2 minutes and have not finished all the way. You could still like the video if you want. I'm gonna finish this. You gotta drink the milk. That's the best part. 8:03, let's get on to the ice cream.
I've been dreaming of a sweet life with you, sweet life with you.
So pro tip, keep the bowl in the freezer before you put the ice cream in there, so that way it won't melt, even though if you're anything like me, it never lasts long enough to melt anyway.
I've been scheming, all the things we gonna do, things we gonna do. Don't you worry, it'll always be with you, always be with you. I've been dreaming.
8:19, the last thing we're gonna be having is one of these Skinny Cows. I'm not overly full, but I could definitely keep on going.
Of a sweet life with you. I'm like, why you gotta cry every time your mama calls you?
So the challenge is over, but we have s'mores Oreos. And that is gonna be the end of the video. Definitely not the hardest food challenge I've ever done, but keep in mind that took me almost an hour, which I know that's one meal, but you shouldn't have an hour to eat one meal. I should have tried to make it within a half hour or something to make it a little bit more challenging, but by the time I moved everything around and got everything put together, it's a process, guys. So I'm supposed to challenge some more people, and I've been thinking about this, who would be entertaining to watch do this? So the first person that came to mind was Nate, I think it's Figueroa is how you pronounce his last name. My dude Nate is obviously one of the best eaters that I have ever come across if you watch any of his food challenges. And I obviously this isn't gonna be a challenge for him, but I'm pretty sure he could do it in about 10 minutes, which would just be cool to watch. Rob Lipset, because he has an awesome accent and I just like it when he talks.
Any walk of life, you have to not care what some people think.
And Michael Corey, because he needed to redeem himself after that broccoli challenge, which that is the reason that I did not do it after I watched him. I was like, heck no. So if those guys are interested in doing this, I encourage you to do so. Go tell them or whatever, but if they don't want to do it, don't bug them. Trust me, these challenges can sometimes be a burden if you're not interested in actually doing them, which is why I declined most of them. But for my buddy Tim, you know, I had to do it. So thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. You guys could have been doing anything, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That's pretty awesome. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. That really does help me out a lot, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time.